Today I woke up to some excellent news and some surprising news at that. There is a brand new 2022 Subaru BRZ, and today we are talking about everything that they changed from the 2017s and the older models to the newer 2022s. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Grayson McTaggart, and I like making videos about my Subaru BRZ and anything else car related. So if that sounds cool to you, be sure to subscribe down below and leave a comment on what you want to see next on this channel in the future. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now today I don't actually have a 2022 BRZ, obviously, or else I would have it in the shot with me. They don't allocate those to smaller YouTubers like me. I wish they did, but I don't have one. I am going to tell you everything that I know that they changed and compare it to this 2017 that I have been driving for 3 years as my daily driver. Now, they changed a lot of things and they announced a lot of things, but a lot of this will also be my speculation. There is some facts in here, but there's also some speculation. I'll kind of tell you which is which, and I'm also going to show you the exact differences that they made by showing it on this car and then putting a picture on screen of the new car and the pictures that they released and anything like that. This isn't necessarily a review, this isn't necessarily what I think about the car, just everything that they've changed. Eventually I'll do one when I see one in person and I get my hands on one and I get to drive it, but that probably won't be for a while. So just take everything what I'm saying, make your own thoughts, let me know what you think of the car down below in the comments, and eventually I'll make a video that is my thoughts on it, my review, and what I think this one directly compared to the new one. We're going to start on the outside of the car, move our way back, and then move to the inside of the car, and then move into some of the specifications behind everything that they changed. First, we're going to talk about the body. The chassis and the body are pretty much the same as the older models. They didn't change too much. What they did change was body panels, bumpers, lights, and other things like that. The main thing that you can see is the bumper is now different. They got rid of one of the biggest complaints of people, which is this black bar here. They just sloped the bumper down with the hood to make it more sleek and to eliminate that big braces or headgear or whatever they want to call it. They did eliminate that. They made it look a little more smooth and not as aggressive as compared to this one, and they also changed the headlights from the kind of teardrop design to more of a rectangular design. Whether you like that or not, that's up to you. I'm personally not gonna judge it until I see it in person. Moving more to the side of the car now, the next things that they changed was the fenders. The fenders are really different now. I don't know if you would want to call them more aggressive or whatever, but they are actually vented. Instead of this piece being there now, they actually just decided to put an air vent here. A lot of people have been comparing that aspect to some Lexuses even. I'll put some pictures on screen of some of the Lexuses that it's been compared to, and I kind of see it. That kind of two-piece vent in that fender, it's functional, yes, but it is also very Lexus in a lot of ways. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. A lot of people do switch out these fenders on the older models for more aggressive fenders or vented fenders. So I think it's interesting that they're doing that stock, and it's a very interesting design choice. Not only that, I like that it's functional. They actually say it's a functional aspect of the car. It actually helps vent air from the wheel well out and along the side skirt to reduce that turbulent air, making it a little more efficient in driving. Another thing that they changed is the wheels. Now these are actually aftermarket wheels, so don't compare them to these. I'll put up some pictures for you, but they did change the wheels. They changed it from a Subaru specific wheel to a Toyota Yaris wheel, the GR Yaris wheel, which I actually like the look of it. A lot of people are saying that it doesn't look good or they should have used some other piece, but it's gonna be a lightweight wheel and it looks very aggressive. Now, since it's used on the Yaris, it's a little disappointing that they didn't, you know, make it something specific for the BRZ, but I actually like the look of those wheels, so I think it's a good aspect. Another thing that they changed on the side of the car is the side skirt. They actually added side skirts, and on this BRZ and all the other ones before this, they actually haven't had side skirts unless you get some special performance package or add-on option. These actually have removable side skirts from factory on what looks like all the models, which is a really cool aspect. It's gonna open up a lot of different aftermarket options, and they are functional as well. They actually help guide the air from the forward fender vent along the side skirt and then out, providing a little more downforce as well as stability, which is a very cool aspect in my opinion. Other than that, the side of the car looks very similar. The door, the windows, the slope of the roof, everything looks super similar to the older model, which is very interesting, but it makes sense because they did use the old chassis and a lot of the old body pieces. The next biggest change is the rear of the car. This is probably the most controversial part of the car, other than maybe the front bumper, and it's just the entire rear of the car. They changed the taillights, the bumper, and the spoiler, and a lot of people don't like it. I personally haven't made my decision whether I like it or not yet. I'll make that a whole nother video, as I said earlier. But a lot of people are saying the new taillights look like the Acura NSX or some product of Honda, which, if you like Honda, then that's not necessarily a bad thing. I definitely think it modernizes the car a little bit, and it adds a bit more of a twist. Now, do I like the new headlights compared to the old headlights? I'm not sure yet. I want to see it in person. They also did change the rear wing to a duckbill instead, which I personally like the rear wing more, but they may offer different options, and of course the aftermarket will have other options as well. Now, with all of that said, we move inside the car now. The inside is, I think, my favorite change that they made. Just from what pictures I've seen, it looks like they've changed the whole layout and pretty much everything in the interior. Not only have they changed the layout, but specific things are like the shift knob, they changed the steering wheel, they changed the seats, they changed the head unit. It is now, I think, an inch bigger, which I think is actually pretty good. They also changed the dash, and they also changed the climate control. I think by modernizing everything but still keeping it somewhat true to the BRZ, I think they did an excellent job with that, and I wish my BRZ had a lot of those aspects. The last thing that they changed with the car that I know a lot of people are excited about, that I am also excited about, is they gave it more power. They actually bumped the power from 205 horsepower to 228 horsepower by putting a 2.4 liter naturally aspirated flat 4 engine into the car. Now, this car has a 2 liter flat 4 engine, which is kind of Subaru's like trademark, and it has been with the BRZ and the WRX for years. But I actually really like that they kind of finally listened to the people and they bumped the power a little bit. A lot of people are still kind of sad because they haven't really said if they're going to have a turbo model or not. But honestly, I'm just glad that they finally gave us more power. That's what we've been wanting, and I think they did it in an excellent way. Now, with that new engine comes a couple things. Yes, it comes with more horsepower, but it also adds a little more weight. It also messed with the weight distribution a little bit, but they changed a lot of components in this car to be lighter weight, so you're not really going to feel that weight jump of a couple hundred pounds. You're just going to feel that more power. So that is something that I'm looking forward to feeling when I actually drive the car. Some of the things that I know that I am absolutely in love with about the new car is it still has a manual transmission. I'm so happy that they kept a manual transmission in the car. I'm so tired of these new sports car manufacturers making only automatic versions of cars that we want in manual. Chevy C8, Mark V, Supra, cough. We want a manual. We love manual. It's not because it's faster or anything like that. It's just more fun to drive. We have more control over the car. That's what we want, and Subaru listened. Subaru, that's why I love Subaru. They listened to us. They gave us a manual transmission. They made the BRZ rear-wheel drive again, and they gave us more power. Subaru's killing it right now. Now, a lot of people are controversial on the design, but I love what Subaru is doing. They're listening to the people. They're making an effort to reach out to what we want. I've made multiple videos on what I want in a BRZ, and it's like Subaru just went down the list and fixed everything, right? They gave me more power, they updated the look, they got rid of a lot of the design aspects that I didn't really like, and then they changed them for something new. They refreshed the car. They kept it rear-wheel drive, and they kept a manual transmission option, but they also gave us an automatic option if you don't like manual. So I'm very excited, very excited to finally try out the new BRZ when I get the chance. The speculation is they are changing a lot of things that they haven't really told us yet. I do think in the future that they will be adding more models, maybe with a TS or STI version of the car. They may add a turbo. That's not confirmed, but it's my speculation. They'll at least do something to give it a little more oomph than what we see. They'll add more aero stuff, as well as they'll change some other aspects through models as they go on. Subaru loves to listen to the people, the consumers, and they like to change stuff with that. Another speculation that I have is with the more power, I think the transmission may be a little different. It may still be manual, but it may give us a higher top speed. Right now the BRZ's top speed is 137 miles per hour or 135, somewhere around in there. And honestly, that's a lot, but I think that some people want a little more out of it. So with the new transmission, they could give us a new transmission with different gear ratios, allowing for that kind of speed increase. Now, not only that, I also think one of the most hated things about the car is its torque dip. Now, a lot of people say it's slow, which they did fix, but there's also a torque dip in that power curve, which you can see on a dyno graph. And I think a lot of that was due to regulations for emissions, and due to this car only being sold in the United States, I think they could fix that, you know, because emission standards in the United States are not as high as some other countries. So I think they may have fixed that with the new car. And finally, a couple other speculation is I think the price range will be about the same. They haven't really told us the price, but I think it'll be about the same as what it is now. 30,000s, 35,000s, low 30s, which makes sense for the car, especially with everything that they've updated on it. I think it's still a great deal, and it still gives a lot of, you know, more room to grow with the car, with STI models and, you know, more limited models. I think it's a really cool thing that Subaru is making this still an affordable, you know, attainable sports car, or entry-level sports car. Now, after all of that, I'll let you guys make your own decision whether you like the car, whether you like the new one or the old one, and which one you'd rather have. I also want to hear if you guys think I should get one of the new ones when they come out. Now, obviously that's a little ways away, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it, but with you guys' support, who knows, anything's possible. I also just want to hear any feedback that you guys have, if you think I left something out, or if you think I should address something very specifically if I can get my hands on one of the new ones. I want to hear it from you guys. Subaru, if you're an executive at Subaru watching this for whatever reason, call me. I want one. Or at least I want to drive one. I want to do a comparison, but like, no one told me anything. I wasn't on the invite list to the release party or anything. Like, what the heck? I'm a loyal Subaru driver boy. Give me what I want. Give me a 2020 BRZ. I'm just joking with you guys. I'll find some way to get my hands on one, whether it's to review or to drive or whatever. I will be making some sort of video eventually with it, promise you that. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you watched this far, you might as well subscribe if you're not. I make a lot of content like this, as well as I make a lot of Subaru content. With my Subaru, I've already switched out wheels and exhaust and a couple other things on my car, and I plan to do more in the future. So if you guys want to see more of that, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the content that I put out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.